Hi, everyone. Welcome to Analyze Your Trade, episode number 11 for November 14th, 2017. My name is David Kosmeter. I'm the creator of Timing Research. And tonight we will be discussing your trade ideas. Over the last few days, we had over 40 people submit up to 5 symbols, and we're going to be talking about some of the most frequently requested ones. You should be seeing on your screen right now the list for tonight. So we're going to get to as many of those as we can. I developed the show with Dean Jenkins of Follow Me Trades, but he's off this week as moderator, and I have Dave Landry here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn over the show to him.
Hey, thank you, David Kosmeter, and thanks to back once again. Stefanie, let's go to you first. For those of us who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us a little bit about, which is a great name, the stockwhisperer.com.
Hey, Dave. It's great to be back here on the show. Yeah, my name is Stefanie Kammerman, but people call me the Stock Whisperer because I've pretty much been whispering for the past couple decades, mostly about where the dark pool is trading. I am the expert on dark pool trading. That's where most of the guys, 40%, actually I think it's higher, of all the volume being done right now is being done in this alternative exchange. And so I pretty much call out the big guys, where they're buying, where they're selling. I run a live trading room called the Java Pit. All day long, I share my screen, I trade live, and I teach you how to trade live. I think that's the most important thing. You can read a book, you can buy a video on how to trade, but you're never going to really learn how to really trade until you do it live and have somebody helping you through those trades. So I run a live room. I have a dark pool app. I'm on tour right now, as you know, Dave. I've seen you in many different cities. I'm on tour with the World Money Show, and the Traders Expo, and a lot of great things coming out right now. I'm writing a book, which will be out in a couple of months. You'll see it on TV. And I'm just really excited to be here and to go over these trades tonight. So thank you for inviting me.
Cool. Glad to have you again. Todd, let's go to you. Todd Mitchell from Trading.com. Todd's been on one or two of the shows that I've been the CF time here. So, Todd, welcome aboard. To those of us who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself and Trading Concepts, Inc.
All right. Hello, everybody. Todd Mitchell. I've been, trading since 1988, and I started Trading Concepts in 94. I've been trading full-time since graduating from college in 90, so this is what I've been doing for quite a while. And so I've trained about 35,000 traders over the last 24 years, written a couple books, got another book coming out in about a month and a half. And Trading Concepts, we've got a lot of advisory services here. We've got a live trading room that specializes in the E-mini futures trading. Trade stocks, options, futures. I do it all. And again, this is what I love to do. This is all I do. And for those of you that know me, you can contact me at any time, as you know. You can get in one of our trading rooms. And so, yeah, just looking forward to being on. David Kosmeter used to be my affiliate manager about 5 or 6 years ago. Great guy. And started Timing Research. And so, yeah, I'd love to be on the show anytime he wants to offer. And, let's go through the stocks and stuff. So
it's great to have you on the show, Todd.
Thank you for having me, David. Appreciate it.
Okay, we also have Jim Kenny. Jim Kenny, we were having a little earlier. We were told what was going on after debugging my audio problem. So, Jim, can you hear us now? With professor.com, and we'll come back to you, Jim. Okay, hopefully Jim will pop in later. My name is Dave Landry, DaveLandry.com. Stefanie and Todd have been around a little while in this business. I started my 95. Started out as a CTA, and I was a CTA 14 years or so. In 1997 or 98, I started providing internet. And right around that time, I formed Dave Landry. I believe you can only predict the short term when it comes to markets. Money is in longer term. Unfortunately, the risks are too great for long, and it's just not very accurate. So I take a hybrid approach through money management, predict the short term, for a swing trader, swing trader, longer term for
you.
out
Yeah.
that we opened up in January.
Sorry.
I'm kidding. I'm happy. Don't worry. Anyway, your attention. Look, you tell us what you think about Microsoft MSFT.
Okay. All right. Am I up? Did you hear me back then? I thought my mic was off.
Yeah.
My mic off. Can you hear me okay now?
No, it was on.
It was on?
Yeah, we heard you before. We hear you now.
Okay.
How you doing?
I'm going to share. We're going over Microsoft first?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just share my screen so we can see Microsoft. All right. I'll try to make this
tell you
pretty. Yeah. So we spotted a lot of dark pool activity back in the beginning of October. You can look on my Twitter feed. I have not seen anything big lately. I do see an upthrust right here on the 27th of October through this 85 level. This is really key. $5 increment levels are really massive for swing trading. And so the fact that we have this Wyckoff upthrust right through the 27th and then a retest the next day is definitely a weak sign. We need to close above 85 on Microsoft. That's really the key level for me as a swing trader to see another upward motion to about 90. That's my thoughts on Microsoft.
All right, Todd, what are you thinking? MSFT.
Me? You're talking to me now?
You talking to me?
Yes, now I can. Let's go through my.
Yeah, Todd.
All right. See the screen? Can you guys see this? All right?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. These two vertical lines were my buy points on Microsoft. Now, at these levels, quite frankly, I wouldn't be doing anything in here. Basically, we're in a range. I totally agree. We had a big blow-off bar here. The market definitely has to close above 85 to even think about a retest of 86.20. So in here, right now, I wouldn't be doing anything. If the market broke down through these lows, I definitely would be looking to buy the market in here. Now, I'm a big advocate of one of the technical indicators I like to use, and I know I'm a big price action guy. So indicators I know are lagging, but the indicator that I believe, if you could give me one indicator that you could say is the holy grail, it would be the 2-bar RSI for short-term swings. And so 2-bar RSI, right? So I think the setting on most platforms is what, 21? So a 2-bar. Once you close above 10 on a 2-bar RSI off of daily chart, combined with everything that I look at, those provide great opportunities. So you'll see these two vertical lines. Those were two plays that we had the last few months. But right here, right now, Microsoft wouldn't be looking to do anything. Again, I do agree that we would have to see a close above 85 to even think about a retest of the 86.20. And again, if the market did in fact break down through this range of 82.88 on a closing basis, I would look to this area. I would be looking for this area as support if we broke down. So that's all I have to say for Microsoft right now.
Okay, I'll go ahead and take it. And Jim, if you could hear me and you want to jump in, just feel free to jump in at any time. To trade more smaller cap issues show up on this show aren't going to be on my radar. And notice it says an HV, historical volatility rating. 50. Looks like it's had an incredible this gap in here, but if you measure this gap, it was only about a 6% gap. And some of the stocks that we trade 6% in one afternoon, and we also, for instance, I'll give you one that was on the radar, a little bit on the volatile side, but still something we were keeping an eye on, ran up like 40% in one day. So I prefer to trade stocks at a little higher in volatility, better chances of beating the market. Now, you notice that Microsoft had this big gap higher, and it's still up. but it has just traded sideways in here, and maybe it's just consolidating, getting ready to make a new leg higher. But I think that you'd be better off trying to find a smaller cap issue and then something other than Microsoft. But it's still in an uptrend, obviously. And one thing that I often preach, if the market is not too far away from brand new hot air on this end. So it's in an uptrend, but nothing that I would. Okay, Jim, can you hear us yet? All right. Back to you, Stefanie, as a symbol.
Okay. We're doing Celgene?
Sorry.
Yes.
Is that what we're doing, Celgene?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
Celgene.
yep. Okay. So, I've been doing this for almost 25 years. And there's one rule I have, and I don't do drugs. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what drugs are going to be coming out, supposed to be coming out, approvals. I mostly trade tech stocks, financials. I do trade stocks, options, futures. I love gold, commodities. But drugs for me, I've seen the best traders in the world get wiped out, and it was always a biotech stock. But here's what I spotted today for those of you that want to trade these drugs. We had a massive print today, 640,000 shares traded on Celgene at 99. This is pretty rare. We don't normally get such a big trade, and that's why it was brought to my attention. I pushed it out on my dark pool app today. I'm going to be bullish above 99.50. If she can close above that, I'm going to assume it's smart money buying. However, tomorrow, if it closes below $98.75, I'm going to be bearish. It is a very bearish pattern on the weekly chart. There's definitely an H pattern going on right here, but prints always take precedence. So definitely keep your eye on that 99 level. That's where most of the volume came in today in a big chunk. All right, I'm done.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Top CELG.
All right, see my screen here? All right, Celgene. All right, obviously in a downtrend, obviously had some earnings, gapped lower. You'll see these two horizontal lines that I drew out. I mean, these are big rejection areas, right? The first one, the upper one, right here is where the market turned, and right in here. So between these two white horizontal lines, a great place to be a buyer, actually. On the way down. So we gapped lower. So on an intraday basis, if I had seen this on an intraday basis, see that gap, I would have been a buyer down in here with a stop loss below this lowest low down in here. Okay. Now, so yeah, that's how I would have played that. Now, right now, I would still be I would be a buyer with a stop below this low. I'd go about 20 cents below that low, but I would want, like tomorrow, if we get a lower high and a lower low, I will certainly be a buyer with a stop below this low. That's how I would play it. On the reverse, if the market were to close, let's say above 99.5, then I would be looking to be a buyer on that side. But I think we're going to pop down in here, quite frankly. So that's my take of Celgene.
That's good.
As a trend guy, obviously this stock is in a downtrend. And unlike Stefanie, in fact, let me just show you one real quick that we're long to give you an idea what we look for. Notice that this is a fairly high HV, accelerated higher knockout move. And I'll tell you how to get at the end of the show. And that's the kind of stock we like, which gave us a buy in this area here. If you go to Celgene, you can see it's obviously in a downtrend. Now, shorting something good or perceived as good, and then they double overnight, and then I'm in a whole lot of trouble. So as a general statement, I don't short them. But if you look at Celgene, I'll show you something real quick. They made a gap down after all-time highs, or certainly multi-year highs. I think it's all-time highs. Usually when that happens, something bad is getting ready to happen because somebody's smart enough to know something. This is our cool action, I'm guessing. And the gap down here, so that's pretty ugly. You actually had a little micro setup in here. If anything, if I had to trade this, I would trade it on the short side. I hear what Todd's saying. It's extremely oversold and due to bounce. But I would avoid it, and I certainly would avoid because the big blue arrow is pointing the wrong way on that. All right, Steph, we're going to go right back to you. We're just going to keep ping-ponging here until we hear from Jim. Speaking of ping-pong, Todd, that RSI, what Rasky did years ago with what you call momentum ping-pong, did you ever study that?
No, actually, I never have. I mean, I got that from Larry Connors probably 6 years ago. Started playing around with it, and
he got it from Linda. He got it from Linda. So, all right, we'll talk offline. Yeah. It's. I played around with it a little bit. It's real short term, but it's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
So, VRX is it simple?
I've created a couple really cool systems with the network. So.
All right, is it my turn? We got a lot of
I'm still talking to. Yeah, I'm not sure what's causing that static. You now, Stephanie.
All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes? We have a lot of static going on here. So, yeah, VRX is another drug company. And again, I don't trade drugs, but we did have a print today at $14.41. Not the biggest print, but still a $250,000 trade. I am bullish above 14.51 with that print. But again, definitely not something that I would trade. So you can just skip over me for this one.
All right. Todd, let's go back to you. VRX.
All right, here we go. So if someone put a gun to my head, well, of course, on everything that I'm talking about, I would not be trading these if I knew in Celgene or VRX, if there was any news in the next 5 days, a full week. So that aside, if I had to do something, we're trading between the 200 simple and the 200 exponential moving average, which these purple lines are. If I had to do something, well, I drew my Fibonacci retracements from high to low. I got the 38.2 sitting right here, right in between my gray zone here, which is a support zone. My bars are green. Yes, we're trading below a 5 simple, but I would want this to pull back further. See that 2-bar RSI close below 10. We're currently at 21.21. That would probably, I'd like to see that come in between the 38 and the 50 with a hard stop, somewhere down in here at 13. So I wouldn't be doing anything just yet. I'd like to see a little bit more selling pressure before looking to do anything. And that's what I see. What about you, Dave?
Okay.
All right.
Guy, first thing I see is it's just kind of wide and loose and all over. And there's lots of problems with that. It looks like an electrocardiogram to me. And I like something in, I don't mean to keep coming back to this one stock. It's just there's not that many setups lately. And this just kind of epitomizes what we're looking for. You see this nice persistent move higher followed by a pullback as opposed to stock like VRX, which is just kind of all over the place. If you look at a beep electrocardiogram, you want to avoid it. If this was like major lows in here, way down here, and it was coming off the lows with a big gap, just like the gap I talked about off the highs a few years ago, I might be a little in it. But as far as the way it looks like right now, it's all over the place. Also, one of the most powerful things you can do is a net indicator, and you could go back. You could 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, whatever you want. It really hasn't gone anywhere. So I want to see some sort of upside momentum on a long side or downside momentum, obviously, on a short side before getting too excited about this chart. So it's mostly sideways. Not going to be interested. Stephanie, let's go to the SPYs. Does the dark pool work in the SPYs?
Yes, I'm so excited. Finally, something I trade. I love the SPY, trade the SPY as much as I can around dark pool levels. And I have called the last 10 corrections in the market just following dark pool activity. There's a signature that the dark pool uses. And they have a share size that is very particular to them. And guess what? We spotted a massive 16 million level recently, a couple of days ago. I did push that out on my dark pool app as well as, of course, in my room. 16 million at 258.45. That is a key level. We are below that. I shorted this 3 times today. Actually went into it overnight, shorted it again when it broke through S1 on the E-minis, the pivots. I love using Person's pivots. And then covered at S2 and then re-shorted it at resistance today. Again, I am bearish as long as we close below 258.45. So right down that level, that's a really key level. If we do break below that level, we'll most likely go and test the last big level we had at 254.70. Really, really key. They like to play print pong. They just bounce from one dark pool level to the next. So I am bearish, but again, just one big level. When I call a correction, there's usually 3 different big levels that we see. But the fact that we are still below this level is really key, and I'm just going to hold on to a short position. If we close above it, I'll return back to being bullish. And it's really that easy. It just means they're not selling there anymore. But I mean, it's definitely been a battle. We haven't seen much activity, so that's why I'm pretty vocal about this lately. So definitely keep your eye on that level.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tires.
Ready? All right. Yes. Futures, SPY, that's been my thing for almost 30 years. That's my thing. But long term in my swing trading, I've been long the S&P or the SPYs for almost a year since Trump got in. So I've been long a lot. So yeah, there's nothing up in here. I wouldn't be initiating any new trade up in here. I've got my trailing stops working. But yeah, I've been long for a long, long time. Yeah, a little over a year now. So good swing trade, one of the best swing trades I've had in my 30-year career. So, yeah. So where would my stop loss be? Where would my trailing stop be? Right now, it's below. Here, let me put a vertical line here on TradeStation. Right here. Okay? Right here. The 1025th low. If we break through that on a close, it would have to close below that low for me to even think about exiting the next day. Okay? So that's really all I have to say here.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, like Todd, I'm not actually long the SPY, but I am bullish on the market as long and higher. We're not too far from the prior highs. We have lost a little steam in here. Internally, there's a few sectors that have been looking somewhat dubious as of late. Drugs, and then within drugs, biotech, banks have lost steam, a downtrend, and there's a few other that are a little concerning, but it seems like new areas are gaining steam here and there, such as real estate. Not that I want to get that excited about real estate, but it does. You kind of add it all up, and overall, it's a positive. In an efficient market like this, or specifically something like Forex, I will trade them. Trade a transitional pattern off of high trade the S&P 500, and I think this might be something what Stefanie is seeing, but you can see that you made your all-time high here, making these thrusts lower. So I would look for some sort of pattern off of those highs and actually short it if I were shorter-term trading. Now, I do this in Forex, this bow tie down, actually be a sell mode for me, especially with this gap here on a very short term. But like Todd, and one of the complaints about this show, or at least the other, is that we don't have enough controversy. But I do agree with Todd. Long as a big blue arrow points higher, there's no reason for me to rush P500. All right, Stefanie, back to you. Sina, S-I-N-A.
Okay. Oh, by the way, the dark pool was buying before the election. So it really didn't matter who won. Yep, I have pictures of that. I'll definitely show you that next time. I'll show you what that looks like as well. But it didn't matter who won. They were buying. They were hiding their orders. They can do that, withholding orders for 24 hours. And I was always under the impression that you had to show your order the same day you executed it. And that is, that's the law, but there are loopholes. And if Goldman Sachs doesn't order a trade from their desk in London and they cross the trade with their New York desk, they have 24 hours to report this trade. And this is how they sell millions of shares without showing us their hand, and how they buy millions of shares. And we saw millions late buy prints. And this was before the election, a couple days before. So they were buying huge. And we also hit a major moving average on the daily chart on the SPY as well. But they were definitely buying that.
They were buying huge.
Yes, it was huge.
Huge.
I mean, I know Trump wants to take, complete, credit for this amazing rally we've had. But we had a big correction before he came in, right? That started at the end of August. And then, of course, buying came at the end of that. But all right, so back to Cena. I don't think I've ever traded this stock, but I did draw a couple of, I'm technical. I like to draw my trend lines the same way everybody else does here. I do see a nice hammer candle on the weekly chart that just formed. However, at this point, I would want to be bullish above the 8 EMA. I'm a huge, huge fan of the 8 exponential moving average. It's my favorite one. I have a lot of moving averages, but it's my favorite. And if we close above that, which is about 108.75 on this weekly chart, I love it. I like it. I can see more upside potential to the top of the channel around 120. So that's my thoughts on that.
Okay. Todd, Sina, did we go over that yet?
All right. Yeah, kind of no man's land. Overall, obviously we're in an uptrend, but this where I have the vertical line, that honestly, when in doubt, stay out. I wouldn't be doing anything. Right here and right now, I wouldn't be looking to do anything. It'd have to close above the 8th high to even think about going long. And that would be a breakout trade, and I'm not a big breakout trader. So, yeah, I wouldn't be looking to do anything in here. I mean, the market's either going to, I wouldn't be doing anything. I'd maybe wait for an inside bar where the high is lower than the prior day's high, low is higher than the prior day's low, and get a breakout if the market really starts to contract somewhat in here, as we're starting to do, right? I mean, you had a little inside here. If we can stay maybe sideways for a couple more days and then we break up through here, that could be a good breakout trade to the upside. But other than that, wouldn't be looking to do anything here.
Gotcha. Tweet on this one. If you are long this stock, then it's still in a longer term uptrend. But I like to assess before I get into a stock and not afterwards. I just accept what happens once I get in. Just trail my stock and be bored to death, and that's okay. But for a new position, I want to see a lot of momentum by setup. Then notice that we've had about 6 weeks of lower trading in here. And then we're also on, once again, there's that indicator, the net indicator. Just draw a horizontal line. You can see it hasn't made a whole lot of forward progress. But you can see for the most part, a lot of forward progress in a while. So I would leave this one alone. Much longer term, I think as Stefanie pointed out, on a weekly chart, it's still in an uptrend, but nothing for me to get excited about lately on that one. Stefanie, let's go back to you, and the symbol is F, and it's going to be Ford.
Oh, Ford. Oh, I love Ford. Okay. Finally, something with dark pull activity. I'm glad we all agreed on that last stock, by the way. Yeah, so Ford was a huge disappointment. I was really hoping it was going to break above 1250. That was such a key level for me. So we first started out with some massive prints not too long ago at $11.71 back here. A huge, massive level. I tweeted like a maniac about it. And we had moved up, and then recently we spotted prints at $12 and $12.24. So I was bullish. I always like to go up to the next level up, 12.5, and be bullish above, but we just, could not. Here's the weekly chart, a little bit better to see that. We could not break up through that. And so again, that's still such a key level. If we can close above that, we've tested it quite a few times, then I would be extremely uber bullish. We did have a breakout though. Look at this long-term chart. So we had a breakout, and usually when we do, we have a retest of the breakout before moving up again. So that's really what I'm waiting for. I have no position on it now. If I see some big prints that come in tomorrow, whatever, I'll definitely push that out. But 1250 is definitely your key level on this.
Gotcha. Todd?
All right. Well, I'm from Michigan, so I'm a big Ford fan. My grandparents worked for Ford, so I'm a big fan. So right now, I mean, yeah, my bars per my software green. Obviously, the trend is up right now, right? From the swing from August 18th up. We're above both the 200 simple, 200 exponential, my gray zone right in here. So yeah, bullish. Would I put on a trade today, tomorrow? No. I would either need to see the market come down near this white horizontal line below that level, right where I'm moving my cursor. Okay, right in here. Here, let me just do. Yeah, I would definitely attempt a buy if the market were to sell off a bit. So between right in here. Then I agree if the market were to come up and close, if we're able to close above 12 and a half, the half of 12, yeah, I would think we'd maybe go higher. But again, I'm not a breakout trader. I like those pullbacks and logical support in an established uptrend and vice versa for a downtrend. So right here, right now, wouldn't be looking to do anything. For me to get it all excited, I would need to see it, come down into this level. That's about what I've got for Ford.
All right. I'll keep it short and sweet on Ford. It has a lot of overhead supply. Form of technical analysis is simply reading the market. People likely have the stock in this area right here. For me, up to 1250 or so, it could run into a little trouble. And then longer term, it's got a lot more way back here. Not to get too deeply into overhead supply, but just remember that people tend to hold on when stocks go down. The masses, not the trader type. They tend to hold on as stocks go down, and they often at break even. It's just human nature. I see with friends and sometimes even family who just, they won't even call me before they buy a stock and tell me afterwards. And then anyway, that's another story before I digress too far, but lots of overhead nature. I see it all the time. So I would just, Stefanie, go back to you. Symbol is T. I believe that used to be AT&T. I guess it still is.
It is. Oh, yeah. And again, I do agree on a pullback to buy it, but watch that 1171 because that's where the big boys were buying not too long ago. And if that same computer is still buying, we should bounce off that. So if we come down to 71 and bounce and hold off that, that's when I like to enter, putting my stop below that. So again, on the pullback, that would definitely be my level. But again, if we break above that 1250, that would mean that, the big guys are below us. So those are definitely, and of course, whatever prints come in. But guess what we spotted on AT&T? Holy cow, the biggest prints I've ever
Dark pool.
Yes.
We're going higher, aren't we?
Look at this. I don't know. I'm unsure about that. Look at this. 15 million printed. This was October 25th, recently. So we've been in a few trades off this print, but this is the biggest print ever, okay, $33.48. So I'm definitely going to be watching it. We broke above it. Let me just show you this daily chart. Okay, so we broke above it. This was a fantastic trade, but we kind of hit resistance on the simple 20 moving average on the daily chart. Could not break above that. That's really, really key. Looks like we're going to go down and retest that print, 33.48. If we can hold the print, I'm going to be uber bullish. If we break below 33, even more bearish. Sorry, it's going to be very bearish if we break below. Here's a long-term chart. I spoke about this trade recently at the Vegas Traders Expo. This is so key. If we don't hold 33, we'll most likely go down to 32 and even 30. Okay, so again, this is a massive print level. I'm still monitoring this trade. But if we break above 34 with conviction and close strong, then I'll take the next trade up to 35. But again, this is a live trade, you guys. This is like very exciting. It's going to have a big move. Okay, the question is which direction. Sometimes I'll put a strangle on if I'm unsure of which way it's going to go, but I am actually waiting for it to retest 33.48, and that's my feelings on AT&T.
All right.
One of my questions, I was going to ask you about options, but in them over there around the dark pool. Okay, Todd, Give us your thoughts on AT.
All right, AT&T is definitely going to go higher, I believe. Again, trading is all about the proper trade location and correct position sizing, right? So obviously, we're in a downtrend, big downtrend in the AT&T, but I think we're going higher. Right now, we're trading between this high of 34.5 and from 32.5. So to do anything in here, to me, I wouldn't do anything on the underlying. On the options, on the other hand, if tomorrow, if we get a lower high and a lower low, I'll probably buy some call options, probably go out in December, maybe January. If we come down lower and try to retest this low, I'll watch it very closely. If we can't really close below that 32, wherever that number is, if we can't close below it, but we get close enough within 30, 40 cents of testing it, we get a bullish candle, let's say, I would put on more of a call position, looking for that bigger move to the upside. And of course, my stop would be if we were to close below that, then I would just exit the call option. But that's how I would trade it. If we were to get a bigger move rather quickly, maybe in the next week or so, I would actually contemplate selling it about the 35.5 area. But a very quick and nimble type trade. That's what I'm looking for on AT&T.
Okay, I'm going to AT&T pretty quick, and or right after I do that, I'm going to show a potential live trade. And Todd, if you guys have some idea you want to think about now, we'll do that because people like that, especially relative to your type of analysis, so we can all learn from you. So if you have something you want to show us, that would be great. But let me just go through AT&T, and I'll show you a possible setup here. Is it a downtrend? Earlier, which my wife hates when I say, put a gun to the business we're in. Put a gun to my head, I would short it because it looks like it's just pulled back and ready to make a new leg.
Mm-hmm.
If you back the chart out, you can see it is kind of all over the place, and I'm really not that excited about it. It's also a very, very, very thick to trade smaller cap issues as a general statement. If I do trade a large cap issue, it's usually on a short of major highs, and if this overall market begins to stall out a little bit, those type of setups, and I'll give you some information on setups in just 1 second. But before we do that, this is an IPO. Now, I'm not a big breakout guy. Two things: if this thing pulled back down to closer to 10, interested in it as a pullback player. But one thing I've observed, and Will Rogers once said, go up, they don't go up, don't buy them. Well, I generally agree with that, but that's kind of hard to do with a more established issue. But believe it or not, with IPOs, you can pretty much buy them at new highs, especially when they have a nice little range like this. So if this stock closed above 1250, that would be a new closing high. That would actually be a setup that would be a setup, which I discussed. And I do have a course on trading IPOs. And I do believe you can trade breakouts in IPOs market for about 5 or 6 years, and just come up with an IPO, and then. But I'm worried that the day I do is going to put the nail in the coffin on the bull market. But so far so good in IPOs. Still finding opportunities there. Stefanie, do you have a trade of the week for us?
Oh gosh, I do a weekly whisper every week for the Money Show. This past week was MU. We had some massive dark pool action coming in at $43.50. You can go to their website and check out my video there. What am I watching this week? I'm going to say financials. We spotted some really big dark pool action coming in on XLF, which is the financial ETF, at $25.93 and $26.04. And then again, another print today, $26.05. We also got a big print on Wells Fargo. 900,000 share print, actually. I was just going to get the picture for you guys. Yeah, so the last time I spotted a big print on Wells Fargo a while back, it was about over 2 million, was 2 days before they announced that fraudulent bank activity. And that whisper made it into the newspaper. People thought that I had inside information. I did not have inside information. I just follow the prints. So here's a huge print That came in today, 30 minutes before the end of the day, $53.76. So we are going to be, again, and we had another 400,000 share print. Actually, that's the first one that caught my attention. Let me just show you that. Here, this first one, 53.77, and then another one, a 900 at 53.76. So again, definitely unusual. Going to be bullish above 54 tomorrow, but I'm also going to watch that with XLF. I like when I see multiple prints across one sector. These are just a couple. There's so many every single day that we trade. I trade live. And again, teach my traders how to trade around the dark pool.
All right, Todd, do you have a trade for us?
Let's see. Oh, hold on one second. Let me see if I can. Let's see. Share my screen. All right. We got two setting up for tomorrow. One on MRO. The buy would be, and this is based on one of my algorithmic trading strategies, $14.70 would be my buy limit for tomorrow on MRO, and that's in the S&P 500. And then one, Russell 2000, is a BPMC. I've got a buy at $62.65. That would be entered on a limit before the market opens. So if we gap below it, I'm filled on the open. Same thing for MRO at 1470 limit. So if it opens up below, I'm filled on the open. And then let's see. Yeah, you just mentioned the XLF. Pop that chart up. I definitely agree. I think today we had an inside vertical bar, right? The high is lower than the prior bar's high. The low is higher than the prior bar's low. Pretty much consolidating in here a little bit. I definitely think for a swing trade to the upside, I think if we are able to break up through yesterday's high, or today's high rather, that'd be a buy. If it were to gap above it, I wouldn't be doing anything. I would need to see the market open up within the range and trade up through 26.12. I'd like to see at least a 5 or 10 cent penetration through 26.12, and I'd like to preferably see that after the first 5 minutes of trading before taking that trade. So let's see, Tesla. Let's see. I'm looking to buy put up or call options down in here. If we're able to put in a lower high and a lower low, I think Tesla's going higher. On the 9th, I bought the calls at $16.75, took some profits off at 20, 21, and 22. So I'm looking for a potential re-entry here. If we can trade down in the underline at about where my horizontal line is, if we can get to about 302, 303, I'd be a call option buyer short term for the December contract or December expiration. All right, there you go. Dave, your turn.
All right. Okay. Stu, wrap things up. Tell us anything else you want to tell us about the stockwhisperer.com, yourself, the markets, or anything. Floor is yours.
Okay, sure. So again, I said it before, I run a live trading room. You can go to my website, thestockwhisperer.com, and we have a trial right now. You can try it out for 30 days for only $9.95. All right, you're going to come in and say, where have you been my whole life, Stefanie? I love this room, or it's just not going to be for you. And I totally respect both decisions. Sitting at the computer all day long is a lot of work watching the tape, and I don't mind doing it. I have a lot of traders that can't be there, and they just want me to text them. Just let me know when the big guys are buying and selling. So we have a dark pool app that we just released. We're so excited. We launched it. You just go to the Google Play Store, or you can go to the App Store, the Apple Store, and just punch in the Stock Whisperer or Dark Space Pool, and you can download the app for free. And if you sign up for the premium feed, that's where I'm going to be sending out my Whisper of the Day video, along with, I want to say about 10 to 12 dark pool calls a day, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on where the action is. So this way, like for example, the other day, I called out there's a huge seller on GE. We all saw what happened with GE. You know, today we spotted the financial print, so I called that out. Also spotted a big print on FCX. Also spotted huge prints on CBS. Whenever there's unusual activity, I'm going to bring it to your attention. If you're in my trading room, you'll see me trade it. But if you can't be there, you can at least get the app. I'm on tour right now. Our next location, where are we going next? We're going to Orlando. We'll be in Orlando in February, and then the New York Traders Expo. So really excited to see my traders there. And stay tuned. I have a book coming out, which will be on TV in just a couple of months. So thank you so much for having me on your show, Dave. If anybody wants to send me an email, ask me more questions about the dark pool, I have workshops that you can download as well. Just come to my website, www.thestockwhisperer.com. Happy trading, everybody.
All right, Todd, the floor is yours.
All right.
Thoughts or anything you want to talk about?
All right. Let's see. Can you see my screen or no? Can you see my screen or no? Let's see. Yeah, I'm not really here to really pitch anything. Can you see my screen now or no?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So yeah, my website is tradingconceptsinc.com. Come to the website, put in your email address. I pretty much do videos every day that I send out, trades of the day, what I'm looking to do tomorrow. Got a bunch of courses. And every week we pretty much do a live workshop on Thursday as well. And again, come to the website, check it out. If you've got any questions, email me. I'll get right back to you. And again, I'm trading all day long. So yeah, I'm not really here to pitch much. So if you want to come to the website and check it out, please go ahead and do so. So I'll give you the floor, Dave.
As I said earlier from DaveLandry.com, I was talking about my setups earlier. If you do want my setups, it's all the setups are in my free books, and you could actually get free. Here's a $100 gift certificate if you put your name in and then you also get. I'll send you a link for this week's weekend charts. I do a webinar which is completely free, and get to know me there. Go to my website, check out some of the content. I have probably 1,000 articles. I know I have like 1,500 YouTube videos. There's plenty of free content out there. Get to know me. If you like what you see, I do have a paid service, and I do have some courses where I discuss some of the things that I was talking about earlier, such as the IPOs and some trading psychology, money management. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Any questions, I do answer my own emails, david@davelandry.com, or if you go to my homepage and just click on contact, you can get in touch with me. Thanks for coming back again. I appreciate it. Also, Todd, thanks to you for being here first time. And thanks again to David on once again. I'll let you go ahead and close the show, David. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave. And
All right. Yeah, thanks, everyone. Great show. Just want to remind everyone watching, be sure to hit the YouTube subscribe button if you haven't yet to get updates on future shows. Also, be sure to join us next week for both shows, Crowd Forecast News on Mondays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and this show, Analyze Your Trade, on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see, on the schedule for next week, Dave Landry will be back to moderate CFN on Monday, and Dean Jenkins will be on to moderate Tuesday night for Analyze Your Trade. Also, we have Barry Rosen, Simon Klein, and John Thomas on the schedule. So just want to thank my guests again for this week. Todd Mitchell of TradingConceptsinc.com. I appreciate you being on here for the first time.
I like the Stock Whisperer, though. I like that name. That's a good name.
It's mine.
Great name. I'm gonna advertise you, man. That's a great name. Was that your idea?
Yes.
Was it?
Yeah. Actually, my trader started me calling me that. So yeah.
Stock Whisperer. That's great. I must say it's a good name.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you. You know, I'm checking out your website tonight when I go to bed. I'm gonna take my laptop and check it out.
Awesome. I have tons of videos, blogs. Check out my blogs. I just wrote a new one recently. Lots of good stuff there. Absolutely.
Sounds good. Nice meeting you.
You too. You too.
We were all in Vegas a couple of weeks ago. Too bad you guys
Oh,
didn't.
we were all there?
Yeah, I was there, but I used to go to the trade expos. It's just a dog and pony show. So no, I went to the affiliate thing and met some people that I've known for 20 years. And
you went to that affiliate party?
yeah, I mean,
I heard about that party. Yep.
They invited the Bennett Bunny Ranch in there. I didn't feel good because not again. Oh, good. Hey, you cutting this out, Dave?
That's
right. What happens? Yeah, the kids.
Yeah, we can't talk about that.
Finishing my closing statement here. So, Stefanie Kammerman of the StockWhisperer.com, Dave Landry of DaveLandry.com, Jim Kenny of OptionProfessor.com, of course, is a regular guest, but he had some technical issues tonight, so he'll be back soon. So, thanks, everyone.
All right, thanks.
you.
Thank you.